Now, before I talk to you, I'm going to offer you a tour of my home studio. So, here we go. We'll start with the piano and the hand drums in the lower corner. As we go around, there's some medium-sized drawings on the wall, a life-size human skeleton that I use as a resource sometimes. And there is a large landscape photograph on the table that will become a landscape painting eventually. And as we move around, you'll see all the nooks and shelves filled with drawing supplies, liquid, solid, inks, charcoal sticks, charcoal pencils, chalk, all kinds of things. And we'll end up with these two black and white drawings at the end, which have an anatomical base. Now let's swing back to the center, and I'll sit and talk to you shortly. Okay, now before I do that, I'm going to take a moment to change the angle of the camera so you can see the upper shelves in the studio. Okay, let's see how that works. I think it's going to be fine. Now, since we are having a big screen installed at our sanctuary very soon, the images must be relevant to the sermon of the day and clarify the theme, or even deepen its impact. Well, that eliminates my pretentious art history lecture with provocative visual aids, for instance. Now, let's take a look at an example from one of the children's books. The theme here is follow your heart to see where it leads. And the images are not only incredibly beautiful, but they take the theme of the day, dance around it in such a playful manner that even the adults are deeply moved. So the audio can be intensified through the visual. Some may even say the message is made more powerful and lasting. I also have imagined many other themes during the sermons that could be strengthened by actual on-screen examples. For instance, the past. Returning to 1929, this was both the date of the Great Depression in the United States, but also the birth of a cartoon character whose name is Popeye, the Sailor Man. I believe they were taking an actual tragic event and generating a fictional hero to deal with it psychologically, perhaps. Let's look at the present. This is a telescopic image of our universe called the Pillars of Creation. It was taken thanks to the latest Webb telescope. About the future, some even speculate that time travel is inevitable. And of course, the unknown is always tantalizing. And then again, celebration must be felt with the whole body. There's always a time to rejoice, so let us interact with Mickey and Minnie when the time is right. The interaction of the scientific with the spiritual could be investigated more tangibly through the electron microscope. First is an image of a creature normally invisible to the naked eye. Secondly, is an image of plant cell structure. What about the four seasons? They could be projected at the relevant times of year. For instance, in the winter, a snowy white scene could be on screen. In the spring, a sunny array of trees could be on screen while waiting for the service to start. These images could bring the outside conditions into the inside space, offering consistency and a sense of wholeness. An ecological note: there could be times when words could be scrolled on screen for all to read instead of printed on paper. Poetry is one example. There are those that need to read along rather than simply listen in order to comprehend. And I, for one, find that helpful. Our youth. Yes, our youth. These delightful beings have been weaned on screens, from televisions to computers to phones. They may find our sanctuary a bit naked without a screen. So, there it will be, laying dormant and expectantly until finally relevant images appear. It's simply a demonstrative form of what is being talked about. Our youth may very well bask in a more gratifying and complete comprehension. What about when awards and acknowledgments are given for members who have been generous with their time? They can be presented to all while on screen, so they may become a tad bashful, like our friend Goofy here. Love that image. But at least they are appreciated in a more tangible way. So, let's climb into the unknown together as we support each other. Then look to the future with optimism, creative thought, and an open mind. You are invited to join in the adventure. Thank you very much.